What's up, YouTube? This is my first official video, and we're going to be talking about the NBA MVP and the NBA playoffs. So, first off, I want to say that I'm a huge Oklahoma City Thunder fan. I've been a fan since they moved to Oklahoma City, and um, obviously, I think Russell Westbrook should be the MVP. Not only do I think Russell Westbrook should be the MVP because I'm an Oklahoma City fan, but because I believe that he is the most valuable player to his team this year in the NBA. There is not a player who has meant more to their team and to that organization than Russell Westbrook. All right, but a lot of people like to talk numbers and not emotions, and so we'll get into some numbers. All right, Russell Westbrook right now is leading the league in scoring. He is, 2.5 points ahead of James Harden as the leading scorer for the NBA. So he can score more points than James Harden. Yeah, he's taking more shots. But when you have people you can rely on to shoot the ball, it's easier to pass it up. And that's why James Harden is averaging more assists than Russell Westbrook this year. Even though Westbrook is averaging a triple-double, which is something that has not been done since Oscar Robinson. And in the modern era has never been done. Not by Larry Bird, not by Kareem, not by Magic, not by Michael, not by LeBron, not by Kobe, not by Shaq. Nobody has averaged a triple-double for an entire season since Oscar Robinson until Russell Westbrook. Okay, and yeah, everyone's like, oh, he's taking more shots. He's taking 400 more shots than James Harden. Okay, so he has to. He doesn't have the players that he can rely on to make shots like James Harden does. If you look, the Houston Rockets have 7 players who are averaging at least 12 points or more. 7, okay? If you want to go 12 points or more on the Oklahoma City Thunder, they have 3. Victor Oladipo, Enes Kanter, and Russell Westbrook. Steven Adams is averaging 10 points a game. So there are 4 players on the entire team who are averaging double digits. There are at least 7 on the Houston Rockets that average double digits for the season in points. So that right there tells you that Houston has a better all-around team than the Oklahoma City Thunder have. And that is why Houston is a 3 seed and Oklahoma City is a 6 seed. Because they play in the hardest conference in the NBA, and Houston has better shooters. That's obvious. Houston has also taken more threes, 100 and some odd more threes than any other team in the NBA. When you're shooting more threes, you're going to make more points. You make more points, you win more games. That's how it works. It's pretty obvious. Other people say, oh, well, I don't really count rebounds for guards as something as a stat. Guards shouldn't be averaging rebounds like that. Well, let's look at why more guards are averaging, somewhere in the range of 6 to 8 rebounds a game. Russell Westbrook's averaging 10. But let's just talk about all guards in the NBA and why a lot of guards are averaging, 6 to 8 rebounds a game. Maybe that's because this season has seen more three-point attempts than any other season in NBA history. Okay, if you're shooting more threes, you're going to miss more threes. And if you miss more threes, that in turn accounts for longer rebounds. Longer rebounds give you your outside players, like your guards, to get more rebounds. So let's not just say, oh, they're padding the stats to help Russell get a triple-double. If they were doing that, the other team isn't doing that. Their opponents aren't standing back and letting Russell get a defensive rebound just because they want to see him average a triple-double. So that argument is preposterous. Okay, let's talk about James Harden and why, although he's having a great season, he is not the MVP. Okay, look at the system he's in. Mike D'Antoni produced Steve Nash, a 2-time MVP. The only time he was ever considered for MVP was when he was in D'Antoni's system. So let's not discount the system like it doesn't have anything to do with the way James Harden is playing. James Harden is having a great season. He has improved his game exponentially. Okay, I am not taking away anything from James Harden's season. I think he has done a great job. If you want to vote him most improved player, hey, like Michael Rappaport said this earlier today on Undisputed. He is by far the most improved player because of the assists that he is averaging. Before this year, that guy didn't want to pass the ball to nobody. Okay? And, I mean, he was like Carmelo Anthony. He was like, give me the ball, get out of my way, let me take care of business. This year, he's averaging like 11 assists a game. That's insane. Okay? To drastically change your game like that is insane. And more power to him. But you put any competent point guard, Mike Conley, Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook, you put any competent point guard in that system, and the Rockets are still a 50-55 win team. You put James Harden on the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they'll be lucky to make the 8th seed. So the comparison's not there. Okay? Now, people want to talk numbers, about, well, Russell Westbrook shot 1,000 more attempts than any other player on his team and 400 more attempts than the next closest person in the NBA. Well, that may be true. But when you don't have anybody else to shoot the ball, you have to do it yourself. And look, I'm a huge Oklahoma City Thunder fan, and yes, do I think that the way Russell plays is part of the reason why KD left? It's possible. When KD was here, did I feel Russell should pass the ball more? Yes, I did. But KD's not here now. And we all we have is Russell. So we have to rely on his greatness, his ferocity, and his, tenacious, attitude towards the game. And we have to rely on that as fans to get us to the playoffs. And look, we're not delusional, okay? Oklahoma City fans aren't delusional. We're not sitting here thinking we have a shot to make it to the conference championship. We know we don't. We'll be lucky if we get it past the first round. And playing Houston, probably not going to happen. But you know what? If we put up a fight and we give them a decent show, hey, that's all we can ask out of this season. And we just have to rely on Sam Presti, who's done a great job with the organization, and hopefully he gets us some shooters around Westbrook and we have a better team next year. But we're not delusional, okay? But having said that, you take Westbrook off the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they're a lottery team. What's his name? Corral Butler said it best. They're the Brooklyn Nets. They would suck. And you can't say that about any other player in the NBA. You take LeBron off the Cavs, and they still 8 seed, 7 seed in the East. I mean, shit, all you have to win is 40 games to make the playoffs in the East. So that's still possible. I mean, and the way the Cavs are playing right now, there's no argument that LeBron should be the MVP this year. No. I mean, Russell Westbrook is averaging a triple-double, okay? Let that sink in for a second. He is averaging a triple-double. Michael never did that, and he's considered the greatest player of all time. Michael never averaged a triple-double. Hell, Russell Westbrook has more triple-doubles this season than Michael had in his entire career, okay? So let's, and Michael is the greatest player of all time. So let's not take out of context what Westbrook has done this year. Okay? Now, as far as the playoffs go, anything can happen in the playoffs. Like I said earlier, I'm not a delusional fan. I don't see Oklahoma City getting out of the first round. But if we put up a good fight, take them 6-7 games, I'm happy with the season. Because Westbrook put the team on his shoulders, looked at all the fans right in the face when he signed that 3-year extension and said, I got you. Don't worry about this. I got you. And he lived up to it. So, us fans, we love him for that, and we love him for not leaving and showing us that the loyalty really means something. And for that, we love him, and we're all gonna say he's the MVP. There's not an Oklahoma City fan who's a true fan that's gonna say he shouldn't be the MVP this year. All right, moving on back to the playoffs. That's pretty easy. I mean, you got Golden State ending up playing Portland in the first round. That'll probably be a 4 or 5 game series. Um, the Clippers and Utah, that's going to be a toss-up. I mean, I think Utah is a promising team, and they have a chance to make a good push, and they could beat the Clippers. Um, as an Oklahoma City fan, I hope they do, because I'd like to see Utah, you know, a team that we beat. If we could, push the Rockets to 6 or 7 games, it would be nice to know that there's a foe there that we could beat. San Antonio, they're going to end up playing Memphis. That's going to be a tough series for San Antonio. Memphis is no slouch. I mean, they're the 7th seed, but they're no slouch. They can play, they can ball. But we all know, at the end of the day, we all know. I mean, the West is going to be a little interesting, but we all know the Golden State Warriors are going to make the conference finals and probably win the conference finals. We all know that. There's no point in holding out hope when the team is that good. Even without KD, you go on a 13-game win streak. You're beating your opponents by an average of 17 points. There's not a team in the West that's going to keep up with that. The East, on the other hand, is where all the fun is going to happen in the playoffs this year. The Cavs aren't even going to be a 1 seed, but a lot of people are like, oh, well, 4 out of the 6 times that LeBron's went to the finals, they were a 2 seed. Yeah, but they weren't playing as crappy. Okay? The Cavs look horrible right now. I mean, horrible. They look dysfunctional. I mean, I bet the Thunder could beat them in a 7-game series right now the way they're playing. It's insane. Okay? They're going to end up having to play Indiana, and Indiana's going to give them a rough time. It'll go 6 games against Indiana. I think Boston isn't going to have much trouble with Chicago. I think that's going to go 5, maybe 6 games. That won't be that interesting of a matchup. But I think the Cavs are going to struggle. I really think they're going to struggle. You got Toronto and Washington in there that can win their series and really give Cleveland some trouble in the second round. I'm not saying Cleveland won't make the conference finals, but I'm going to tell you this right now. It's going to be a hard road, and it would not surprise me to see Boston or Washington show up in the conference finals at the end of the day. Both of those teams are poised to make a good push in the playoffs. So don't hold your breath on Cleveland making the finals this year, because there's a good possibility it does not happen. But as far as the West, we all know it's going to be Golden State. Part of me prays it's not, and they hope big part of me is hoping they get beat out in the second round. By Utah or the Clippers, but I really don't see that happening. Even Memphis has a shot of knocking them out in the second round if they can beat San Antonio. But like I said, I really don't see that happening. Golden State's healthy. All their players are clicking right now. It's going to be hard. They're going to be a hard team to beat. But yeah, Russell Westbrook should be MVP. Golden State looks like they're going to win the championship, and KD's going to get his ring, his bandwagon cheap ring. And I hope he enjoys it. I really do. But don't count out the Thunder just yet.